Hey, what's up? It's your boy Shake the Magnate. This is the Magnet Effect. Right now we're talking about the live in then flip method. I know the last video, I think I did a video and it was the live in then rent method, but this is the live in then flip method. I kept saying live in then flip, live in then flip, but no, that was not the live in then flip method. This is the live in then flip method. And it's a real simple method, and we're going to talk about it. Hopefully, you guys can see my board, and so I can kind of explain this simple method. And like I've said before, I've always talked about before, and you can go to some of those other videos. The live in then mostly all the methods that I talk about are you have to do the number one thing. You have to find the property. So there are a number of ways you can find a property, and 9 times out of 10 you want to be able to find a property that is in distress. You want to find a property that needs some work, right? You want to find the worst property in the best neighborhood if you can, right? And then after you do that, then you want to be able to know how to pull the comps. I actually made a quick video on how to pull comps. So go check out the video on how to pull a quick comp, or go on YouTube and find out how to do comps on a property. So, because that's the number one thing. The number one thing is buying the property right. So you have to know what properties to go after. You got to know how to find those properties. You got to know how to evaluate those properties, and then you got to know how to make an offer on those properties. But once you have acquired the property, you want to know how to do live in then flip method. So you got different strategies that you might take before you purchase these properties or acquire these properties. You got to have your game plan already laid out of what you're going to do once you get the property. Let's just say that live in then flip is one of those properties, one of those methods. And let's say in your live in then flip method, you found out that the ARV in the area was $300,000. You negotiated with the homeowner and they agreed to $175, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,400 square foot. You can get it $175 cash, right? You did your evaluation on the property and you found out that the rehab cost was only $30,000. $30,000, which puts you at $205,000 on a $300,000 property. That means you got $95,000 worth of equity in the home. So the live in then flip method says, how can I take advantage of the $95,000? That was the whole purpose of the strategy in the first place, is to be able to find a property, buy it right, that needs a little bit of rehab work, that's going to leave me with a certain amount of money, at the end of it all. Equity. $95,000 worth of equity. I don't even think I have that on there. $95,000 worth of equity after I have rehabbed the property. Now that's how you build generational wealth in real estate. You gotta know how to do these things in order to be able to tap into funds. Now, where are you going to get the $175,000 from? Private investors, hard money lenders, family members. Man, I mean, like if you can get together with 5 or 6 of your family members, and you guys can come up with that $175,000, and y'all go in and fix that property, and you walk away with $95,000. Now I'm gonna break it down a little bit more, because once you put it on the market, you got real estate agent fees and things of that nature. But if you guys can come together, it could be credit. It could be credit cards. It could be half cash and half credit cards. It could be a bunch of ways that you and your family members or your friends can come together and start doing these type of deals. And let's say the live-in flip method is saying that you're going to actually live in the house while you're rehabbing the house, you know, but you don't actually in actuality, you don't have to live in the house. It'd be better if you was to live in the house because you don't have no other expenses besides the house, right? Okay, so now you rehab the property for $30,000. You add $205,000 all in with the property, leaves you with $95,000 worth of equity in the house, and you decide to live in and flip this property by putting it on the MLS with the real estate agent. A real estate agent is going to take 7%, which is roughly about $21,000. That means you walk away with $74,000 at the end, because you got to give the hard money lender the $175,000 plus the $30,000 back, or your family members. Everybody got to get their money back, and now you walk away with $74,000. And let's say out of that $74,000, you say you're gonna give your family members half, you know, or whatever, you know, whoever you're working with, whatever the split is. But you guys just netted $74,000 in the live-in and flip method. What I do like about this strategy, it doesn't have to be a live-in and flip. You can actually live in, and then number 4 I got, which my bad handwriting, is HELOC, home equity line of credit. You know, if you guys can put this under a corporation, put this under a business, and go get a HELOC on the property, or you can put it up under a good family member who has good credit, has a good job, and take out a HELOC. Or you can put it up under yourself if you have a good job and you have good credit, and you can do a HELOC on the property and pull that cash out and go find another property to do the same method. It don't have to be a live-in and flip. It could just be a fix and flip, okay? But this is just a simple strategy to be able to do as far as you know, the live-in and flip method. You find the property, you purchase the property, you live in it while it's getting rehabbed, and then once the rehab is done, you sell the property, you put it on the MLS, and you sell it. And that is as simple as that. Now, if you want to learn how to take advantage of other things like live in then flip, the best way to do that is, if you don't want to pay any taxes, is the 1997 Tax Advantage Act, where if you live in the home up to 2 years, after the second year, when you sell this property and you make this $74,000, you don't have to pay no taxes. You don't have to pay the taxes. I mean, you walk away with that $74,000 at the end of the tax year. Or else, in this situation right here, if you sell this home before the 2-year period, then you have to pay taxes on that $74,000 at the end of the year. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. This is Shake the Magnate. This is the live-in flip method. Live in then flip method. Make sure you stay locked in to my channel. Click the bell, subscribe, and make sure you be on the lookout for the next video. Okay, let's get this money.